Hey guys, Letter Magic here, and finally it's the video everyone's been waiting for the last couple weeks. Oh my gosh, what is the EV of a box of Ultimate Masters? Now if you're not familiar, EV is expected value. It just means average, just the average amount that you can expect to pull from one average box of Ultimate Masters. Now obviously it's going to vary greatly based on what you actually open, but if you were to open 10,000 boxes, you will get exactly this number on average. So that's what it means. So it's pretty much a good baseline for if it's a good value to buy or not. So for Mythics, let's start with that. Only 4 of them are under the MSRP, which is arguably $11.66. Remember, there's still a foil in the pack. So honestly, a $9 Mythic plus a good foil is still pretty worth your time. I mean, it's pretty hard to lose if you open the Mythic. For rares, I mean, they got some power. I mean, just look at the ones that are above even, I'll say 10, because that's pretty much what the MSRP really is, because that blue pack's worth like 95 bucks. Spoiler alert. But yeah, it's quite a few, but then, I mean, yeah, down here it's probably, 60%? Something like that. And they're not terrible. I mean, like an $8 rare isn't like a disaster, like a $1 rare is, but even a $5 rare, I mean, you could hold it enough that it could go back up to 7 within a reasonable amount of time. So not a lot of just disaster here, where if you look at, oh gosh, Iconic, Masters 25, it was just a list of sub $1 garbage and just a couple bombs. I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. Their choices of cards for that were bad. I mean, it was mostly a distribution and a print volume problem and who they sold it to, but really the single choice wasn't great either. Now there's a second rare column because Mythics are printed at double the prevalence. I can never say that on the actual sheets, like sheet-wise. So you got to count the rares twice in the average. It's basically all it comes down to. I don't feel like explaining the math for the 100th time. Just take my word for it. Also, since somebody's going to ask what the heck this is, there are 20 Mythics in the set, 53 rares, 80 uncommons, and 101 commons. So I have something called a lowest individual repeatable pool, which is if you were to find a repeatable pattern in the cards on the physical sheets that come off the printer, how many would be in it? And the answer is 488. Because Mythics are at half the prevalence as rares, so I assume that holds true for uncommon and common, which, I mean, it's not quite true because these are printed at triple the volume because 3 go in the pack, but this is in the context of foils. So the Mythic plus rare chance, as far as we can tell, is 25.82%. So you have about a 25% chance of your foil being a Mythic or a rare. Now that could be off. I mean, I forgot to erase that field. I just copied it from my other video. Anyway, if you say I'm wrong, I mean, I might be. I'm just working off of the best information that we have from statements from the staff at Wizards of the Coast, what people have said about how the printing press works and people who allegedly work there, and what the probability on the booster pack actually says. All 3 of which do not agree with each other, by the way. So the truth is out there somewhere. Who knows? But it's probably not far off from this. It could be 21%. It probably wouldn't be higher than this. So is what it is. So the Mythic average price, so the average Mythic price is $31.60, which makes sense because the median is right around 30. So that is what it is. It scales pretty nicely. The average rare is worth $10.39, so not bad. I mean, I told you, when you look at it, all things considered, it's pretty much, not likely to result in a dud. And there's a lot of just, I wouldn't say jackpot cards, but I mean, $40, that ain't bad. It's a pretty good return. Then we got the Mythic / rare slot average. So weighted for double the rares as the number of Mythics at an individual level. We've got 1376. So it really gobbles up those Mythics when they're twice as rare. And once again, that's just my understanding of it. That's the best estimate of what I can get from what I personally open, by the way. So these numbers are based on opening like 10 grand worth of Battle for Zendikar. I got about that many Mythics compared to rares. So it seems to hold up. So if you say I'm wrong, you're probably the one that's wrong. So the average uncommon, well, this is the average uncommon X3 contribution to the pack, so $2. So just divide that by 3 and you get the amount that one common or uncommon is worth. So whatever that is, I don't know, 60 something cents or whatever. So then we got the foil Mythic and rare contribution only. So this is the value it adds to the pack if it is a foil Mythic or foil rare, and then I just disregard foil commons and disregard foil uncommons completely. I know it's not the best thing to do. Also, in my experience, and this is way different than any other set, but with the average set, The average foil is worth 1.4 times more money. Now, ultra rare ones, cards that have never been printed in foil before, weird stuff like Treasure Cruise, it's going to throw it way off. It could be 10x, it could be higher. And there's other ones where it's just such a garbage card, it's like 1.1x. But as a whole average, I actually ran the numbers once on an entire set. It took me like an hour. It's 1.4x. So that's what I used. So that contribution is $5 if you round. $5 is added to the pack by just the chance that it will be a mythic foil or rare. Unreal. So that's basically the mythic rare slot times 1.4 times a 25.82% chance of pulling it. So if they were all mythic or rare, if the entire foil slot was that, it would be $19.27. Hello. So it gets a little bit lower. You can see it's reduced by, well, like relative to itself, 75%. Or relative to the base, whatever. So the per pack value, get ready for this. So all things considered, the uncommons, the mythic or rare slot, and the foil slot, only counting mythics and rares, we've got $20.73 per pack. What? I mean, that's about what I'd estimate it at, but that's what it is. So the ultimate box topper, no surprise, about $95, give or take. And that's a pretty rough estimate. All I'm seeing right now on eBay, and who knows what it'll end up as a week after release, is that it's actually a higher number than that. But according to my own calculations, just comparing it to the last printed version and then I think adding 10% or something like that, you get about 95. It's closer to probably 110, but whatever. I mean, people are paying $200 for Tassiger, I heard, so who knows. So you add that just flat. So you go 24 times that number and then just add the box topper. So in one sealed box, here we go. I wish I had the budget for drumroll sound effects, but I don't. $592.58, which is $42 above what I said it would be. So, damn, it's even higher than my what I've been called optimistic outlook. Now that's pre-orders. So if you take the whole thing and say it'll crash 20%, which I mean that's a crash, like an across the board 20%. Damn. Let's find out what that is. Whoops. Help if I could type. Equals that times 0.8. Still 474. So if you paid 335, you're still going to come out ahead, even in a drastic dropping of the prices. And I don't know if you've seen it, but the prices are already drastically dropped. Like a $20 like Urza Saga card in this set is like $11. So they've already cut it by what, 40%? So I mean, to say that, oh, the reprint crashes the price, yes, this already considers this. This is Card Kingdom's prices. Oh, I should have said that. I'm using Card Kingdom's prices. They're usually pretty on. I mean, them compared to day one eBay, they're usually like 3% higher, like if that. So pretty accurate, actually. A lot better than TCG Player, which is very misleading. So let's say a box is about $335. What are you making profit? There we go. $257.58, or as I like to call it, a 77 that's supposed to say percent. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it live. Screw it. We'll do it live. There we go. A 76.89% profit margin. Wow, that is almost 2 to 1. I mean, there's a reason that these are going for $280 to $290 minimum on eBay right now. Once people saw this whole list of craziness, yeah, it's worth it. Just like I said, they're going to print everything from the kitchen sink to the kitchen finks, and they did. So this is crazy. I mean, this is crazy. This is the craziest Master set ever. Everybody who knew that they were going to dump everything into it because it was the last one was completely correct. Anybody who said, oh no, it's going to be bad. Oh, I hate wizards. I'm one of the cool kids because I'm hating on wizards. Get a life. I mean, back in reality where I am risking 13 grand on my order of this, I actually give a shit about reality. You know, because if I'm wrong, I'm going to lose like $5,000 on it. So, yeah, this is looking pretty up. Kind of makes me wish that the credit card that I had on file with them had a higher limit. It's actually my lowest limit credit card. That kind of sucks. So I'm ordering the maximum that I literally can. If you want to make some money, I'd pick one up locally at your local store or, you know, support some douchey online seller, whatever you want to do. Now, as for the sheer variance, the sheer gambling factor of buying the triple booster pack at like Walmart or whatever. First of all, screw Walmart, just don't. But if they somehow end up online or something, I mean, that's gambling. I mean, you could open this whole shebang right here times 3. I mean, it's It's very likely. Now, you got another shot at it with the foil, but the chance of it even being a mythic or rare are only 1 in 4 to begin with. So, I mean, can you call it gambling if it's weighted 76% in your favor? I mean, yes, but it's a good gamble. But don't just expect to be like, I'm dropping $35 and I'm gonna pocket 50, because that's what the math says. At that level of variance, 3 packs, 3 shots at it, I wouldn't. But then again, don't buy an entire box if you don't have 335 to lose, because you could get some just crap box that's worth like $150 and lose a lot of money. If it's all about money, I don't know the number you'd have to order to really get it to even out, but I would say it's probably 18 to 24 minimum, like bare minimum. And even there's some variance with the foils. So that's the number, everybody, $592.58. If somebody tells you a different number, it's because they don't know how to do math, or they're using a different website's prices, which is probably not very smart. So either way, add 10%, lower 10%, whatever, it's worth a fortune. The exact number isn't even the important part. This is worth a buttload of money. That's what you need to take away from this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys when I buy a new car with this money.